Yeah, and Hassan was trying to beg them. Oof. Oh no. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can weave together this Hassan hate. No, not Young. It was Yeet. Hassan, Billie Eilish, friend of the stream. Oh my god, and Google just delivers. View not safe for work content. Wait, the
tangential friend of the show.
Whoever Hassan's current like talent rep or whatever is, this guy's hooking him up with a ton of interviews. Apparently he got something with like Billy's brother.
By the way, shouts out to friends of the show. Billie Eilish, also tangential friend of the show, as a consequence of Phineas being a firm friend of the show. You know, we support Billie around these parts. This is a Billie Eilish household. This is a pro Billie Eilish household. Make no mistake.
Her brother was in your YouTube chat? Wait, when?
Mistake.
Like 5 years ago.
But yeah, from what I understand, 9 out of 10 people who were nominated for big awards weren't even there. And I don't even know what's happening. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, people just don't fuck with award shows anymore. Is that what it is? But yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. Come on, bud. Wait, what's a stretch? I don't think that's that much of a stretch. Is that a stretch? I feel like that's not a stretch. Name one song, chat. Don't ask me that. You know, gun to my head. You killed me. I don't.
Why is Hassan such a celebrity cum guzzler? Because he is the quintessential like frat boy, like wants to be with porn stars, wants to be with celebrities, wants to be at Met Galas, wants to be with fame. Like he's like the fame and shit is like it's what he lives for. But well, second, or at least rivaling his political ideology though, because it seems like he's made sacrifices for his political ideology as well, which is weird given how politically inactivated he is. But I don't know. I don't know. It's strange to me.
I listen to no music.
That's a mega red flag, by the way. Whenever people say they don't listen to music, that's always the weirdest thing. Can you name one Billie Eilish song at least? Fuck. Melina used to listen to Billie. Fuck. There's some song where the music video is like her driving underwater with her brother in the car. I probably couldn't anymore, actually. I don't think I could. You used to have one on your playlist. Yeah, I know, but it's been a long time.
I'm just saying, I still support. I support musicians. I support the process of music.
What does that even mean? What?
I support musicians. I support the process of music being made and also people listening to it.
Why is this? Why does he sound like a fucking AI? Anyway, it's just funny that I guess his talent rep got him like some fucking meeting with Phineas, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we all support Billie Eilish as well. Definitely a friend of the stream." And then
Goat streamer.
You said this is your little vibe, right?
I know of some, but I don't know what's good or bad about any of them.
Yeah.
All I can think is one.
Kai.
Yeah.
You got a monopoly, my boy. You got a monopoly.
Goat, I mean, he's huge, so.
rip. Damn, dog, don't look at me like that. True. People keep texting me that someone just can't stop talking about me, almost like they were obsessed with me the entire time and lied about everything they said about me. And as their entire career goes up in flames, still can't stop obsessing. True, Queen. All right, what other memes do we have for today? I think we've covered all the Trump Elon fallout. I didn't take any notes on this.
Hey, I'm surrounded by 20 Kermit the Frogs.
Do you believe you are Jordan Peterson?
What do you mean by believe?
I don't know if you're copying my voice or what.
That's the circular definition.
That's the circular definition.
You stake your life.
You stake your
on it,
life on it.
and you die.
And you die for it. I feel like I'm talking to myself here.
How much do you know about me?
Hypothetically, if you were born Jordan Peterson, but you talked like Kermit the Frog, that would just make you a human with a frog voice.
You're generating an impossible, restricted, hypothetical with no precursors to back me into.
I can't tell them apart. You like eating red meat, right?
Sure.
And what do Jordan Petersons love eating more than anything else?
Why are you asking me?
Because you are Jordan Peterson.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Is this Jordan Peterson versus Kermit the Frogs?
Don't be a smartass.
Either you're Jordan Peterson or you're not. Which is it?
Wait, this is not that funny. Wait, but this quote looks fucking hilarious. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold on.
What's the tariff on bananas? Americans, by the way, love bananas. We buy billions of them a year. I love bananas.
Wait. Is that true? Billions of bananas a year. Well, a year, 330 million Americans, 3 bananas per American per year. Probably billions. Hold on. Yeah, because bananas are used in other things too. I'm going to take a guess. How many? I'm going to guess 10 billion per year. What else are bananas used in? I bet they're used in something, obviously banana bread. What else? I'm going to guess 10 billion per year. How many bananas does America import annual? $5.08 million metric tons of bananas. How many bananas in 1 metric ton? Okay, 8,475. 8,475 times 5.80 million. 40, what is that, about 43 billion bananas per year? What did I say? I think I said 42. I was right. Suck my dick. Delete the VOD.
What's the tariff on bananas?
The tariff on bananas would be representative of the countries that produce them.
And what's that tariff?
Generally 10%.
Correct, 10%. And Walmart has already increased the cost of bananas by 8%.
But as countries do deals with us, that will go to zero. As countries do deals with us, that will go to zero.
But the cost is on the American consumer now and on the businesses with the confusion now. Mr. Secretary, I believe you know better. I believe you recognize.
Like, this is a problem that we can't even honestly admit what tariffs are, but okay. Like,
That a trade deficit is not something to fear. I believe you know that predictability, stability is essential for businesses. I wish you would show that truth to this administration, and I yield back.
Time of the gentlelady is expired.
Would you mind, Mr. Chairman, if I make one quick comment to the end? Would that be okay?
I'm sorry?
Would you mind if I make one quick comment to the representative?
Sure. Please.
There's no uncertainty if you build in America and you produce your product in America, there will be no tariff.
We can't
so
produce
the concept
bananas in
of
America.
building in America and paying no tariff
We cannot,
is very, very clear.
We cannot
Fighting for
build
imports
bananas in
is not the
America.
Can you grow bananas? Do we grow any bananas in America? How many could we even grow? We just need to build more bananas.
The gentlelady has expired.
How many bananas produced annually in USA? Hawaii produces 0.008 million metric tons. Okay. So we just need to expand our Hawaiian production. Hawaii needs to become the banana factory. We'll become the banana republic. True. We gotta get back to our roots. Dude, there is a non-zero chance. I just want to go and work in the White House. I bet you could show Trump a map of the United States and then point to an island nation and say, these people are ripping us off. They resell American goods at high cost or whatever. And if you spoke to him right, I bet you could get Trump to tariff Hawaii. It is really far away. Or maybe everybody knew that. I didn't know that. I assumed that if you were in LA, that Hawaii is like Cuba. Like it's like an hour or two away, like in a flight. It's like a 6-hour fucking flight. That shit is way the fuck out there. It's hella far. I don't know how the Polynesians even fucking found that shit. That's some way out there shit. You could get Trump. You could definitely get him to tariff like Puerto Rico and Guam, 100%. Any U.S. territory. By the way, the AI banana math made no sense. 8,000 bananas in 1 ton. It's way off. Wait, how many? What is a metric ton the same as an? I don't even know what that means. Oh, okay. 800 bananas to 1 metric ton. How much would a? Your bananas don't weigh 2.5 pounds? How much does average banana weigh? Okay, well these are small bananas. Okay. 8,475 bananas was a ton. Oh, wait. Hey, listen, the math checks out. Don't doubt AI, okay? You're just an AI hater. You're not ready for the future. Wait, was this whole hearing worth listening to? What is this?
Tell me your understanding of the Trade Expansion Act.
I don't have a really good understanding of the term. I may know the act, but I may not.
This is, oh my God, yes. I know you're listening to me. I know you listen to me. And I know, because when I was in DC, I hung out with some people and they were like, oh shit. There were a few people in Congress who were like, I was like, damn. One of them told me, because apparently they were a Hassan watcher at the time. They said, I told him, don't talk to Destiny, because that guy's no good. So you know who you are, fuck you. But that's okay. I don't need to talk to your people. Just keep passing it on. This is what you guys need to be doing. You just quiz them. Just ask them basic questions that they should know as cabinet secretaries of their respective departments. Like when the head of it wasn't. There's no way it was the Department of Homeland Security. Noam something Christie, is that right? It was the Homeland Security.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Good morning, Madam Secretary. Secretary Noem, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff recently said that the Trump administration is actively looking at suspending habeas corpus. Last week you were asked about this, and I want to clarify your position because it's obviously really important to get this right. So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their.
Also, look at how comfortably they lie like they breathe. If you weren't like paying attention, if you just kind of like had this on in the background, you just like, it's people talking. They know what they're, right? Look at how easily she lies. She lies like she breathes. She has no problem just totally fucking airballing the fuck out of that definition.
What is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am.
Suspend their
habeas
right
corpus.
She has no fucking idea. She has no idea what the fuck that means. I like when. I'm sorry, there's a lot. It's just funny. These guys are just so stupid. And everybody's like, oh, they're geniuses. They're so smart. Trump has no idea what the ICJ is. He has no clue.
Like it in your life. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing that goes on, but I think we've made
Big progress.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No, not you. Right here. He's from South Africa. Go ahead, please.
What are you expecting on the ICJ case? Are you expecting South Africa to drop that? Is that what you're trying to...
On which case?
The ICJ
The International
case is
Criminal Justice.
And he's trying to be like a bro, and because he knows he has to define it for Trump, because he knows Trump has no clue what the fuck the ICJ is. Trump has no clue. And so the meme is that technically this is an uncomfortable question because South Africa brought the genocide case to the International Court of Justice, representing the rights of the Palestinians not to be infringed under the Protection and Prevention of Genocide Act or whatever in the UN. And obviously that's a case against Israel, right? And Trump is a huge Israel simp. So while to some people this might be an incredibly uncomfortable question, it's not at all to Donald Trump because Donald Trump has no fucking clue what any of this shit even is or means.
On which case?
The ICJ
The International
case is
Criminal Justice.
I don't expect anything, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know. It's they've got a case. There's a lot of anger there, tremendous anger. I don't expect anything. We'll see what happens. We'll have a ruling, and who knows what the ruling is going to mean.
He has absolutely no fucking idea. That's just very funny to me. Yeah, that's just astounding. It's like the first time I'm hearing about this. Okay, I think he thinks the case might involve the United States. Maybe he thinks the ICJ, it's like trade. Maybe.
A case. There's a lot of anger there, tremendous anger. I don't expect anything. We'll see what happens. We'll have a ruling, and who knows what the ruling is going to mean. Yeah.
On that subject of Gaza, Mr. President, are you going to be speaking to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Israel's renewed offensive there? There's been a lot of concern from European countries. The Pope has expressed concern. Are you going to be asking Prime Minister Netanyahu to tone down the offensive in Gaza to let more aid in?
Was that a question or a statement?
It's a question.
This guy's, you never change.
Mr. President, this time, what would it take from you?
He just fucking rolls on through. It's a level of shamelessness that you will just never, you're just not capable of it. This is politics. This is politics right here. This is powerful politics. Biden could never. Trump will never have a senile moment because he always acts retarded.
Really good understanding of the term. I may know the act, but I may not know its title.
You're not familiar with the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 that gives the president almost unlimited authority to impose tariffs so long as you conduct an investigation. You don't know about that?
Oh, my 232s, of course I do.
Okay.
Sorry, I just didn't know the title of the plan, but of course I know.
Why didn't you advise the White House instead of proceeding under other statutes? Why didn't you advise the White House to proceed under the Trade Expansion Act?
Oh my God. I feel like oh my God. I might actually get PTSD. This is like you're called to do an exam and you actually don't know anything. Like, Mr. Jefferson, can you tell me why might one person proceed under Act B instead of Act A? And can you list 3 examples where it might be appropriate? What's he going to say? Oh, man. The answer I think that you're looking for, but I'm not the trade secretary, so I don't know. Hold on. What was the second act called?
White House to proceed under the Trade Expansion Act.
What was the name of the first one? Hold on.
Proceed. Didn't you
232s.
impose tariffs? That
Really good understanding.
Trade Expansion Act. Almost unlimited authority to impose tariffs so long as you conduct an investigation. You don't know about that?
Oh, I know.
Why didn't you advise the White House instead of proceeding under other statutes? Why didn't you advise the White House to proceed under the Trade Expansion Act?
Is he misspeaking there? Or I can't understand that sentence. To proceed under something besides the Trade Expansion Act? Is the Trade Expansion Act, I'm guessing, is that the one that gave him the, is that the one that gives him under times of like national emergency to levy tariffs that are, I think they're reviewable by Congress in 90 days or something. But the reason why he does these is because he can just declare an arbitrary emergency and then do literally whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't have to go through Congress to do anything or fuck all. That's why he did it, but.
The president chose IEPA because he could do it swiftly and he could do it.
IEPA. Wait, hold on. Which? Unless maybe that national whatever act. Maybe that's a different thing. Hold on. Let me look. I should know these. What they're called. No, 232s are different. Keep watching. It'll be obvious. Oh, okay. Maybe the guy will get into more. We'll watch.
Sweeping in order to address the underlying problems that had created the $1.2 trillion trade deficit that was haunting the United States of America.
Have you read the opinion in VOS Selections v. U.S.?
I have.
Okay.
What role does the major questions doctrine play in that decision?
Oh my God. Who is this guy? Senator Kennedy. Related? Is he like a Kennedy? I can't spell senator. What the fuck? No, we can spell senator. Senator. He's a super Republican? I don't give a fuck. Is it this? John Neely Kennedy? Louisiana. Just the same name, no relation. He's been pretty MAGA. Wait, the fuck? He's a retard? Listen, wait, okay, hold on. John Neely Kennedy, Senate member from Louisiana. Okay. Just quiz him. Just quiz him. Ask him questions. I like it.
I am not a lawyer, so I can't speak to it with that kind of precision. That's a litigation that's under current investigation.
What was the name of the case?
To it with that.
In that decision. Actions v. U.S.
I have.
In VOS Selections v. U.S.
VOS Selections Inc. versus Trump. Is that what it is? Is this ongoing? This is the one challenging the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Are there any, I'm sorry, I don't know. Are there filings on this yet? United States Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit. There are a few tariff rules here. Oh, sorry. We have a docket. Oh, fuck all this shit. Damn. Do you really think he's read? Do you really think he's read all this shit so far? He's kept up with the whole... I mean, he probably should if it's part of his job, but... Okay, sorry.
I have.
What role does the major questions doctrine play in that decision?
I am not a lawyer, so I can't speak to it with that kind of precision. That's a litigation that's under current investigation.
Are you familiar with the major questions doctrine?
Not offhand, but I did, of course, read the decision.
Well,
what is the... Fuck. Major questions doctrine. Is that the Supreme Court tries not to answer, like, big questions that would be better left to, like, Congress or something, to try to avoid stuff like that? Or am I mixing that up with the political questions doctrine? Major questions doctrine. I'm pretty sure is... I think the Supreme Court tries to stay away from... Sorry. Forget I just fucking said that. The Supreme Court says that it tries to stay away from answering major political questions that are like similar to kind of like legislation, like that those kinds of things should come from Congress, and they try to stay away from dealing with big questions like that, I believe, generally speaking. In a number of decisions, the Supreme Court has declared that if an agency seeks to decide an issue of major national significance, its action must be supported by clear congressional authorization, Courts and commentators have referred to this doctrine as a major questions doctrine. Oh, I don't know why all you fuckers in chat said I was right. No, I was incorrect. Okay, so the major questions doctrine is that an executive agency, so like the EPA or the Department of Education, whatever, can't craft a rule, I'm guessing, or make a major decision that looks like a big legislative decision, and that stuff is best left to the Congress, which also makes sense, I guess, given the Loper decision that overturned Chevron, right? That's what this sounds like it's about. So it's not about the court's ability to make major decisions. It's about the executive branch's. Yeah, I guess. I think. Okay. All right. So, okay. Fuck all that. Where were we? No one cares. No.
About 3/4 of the opinion is on the major questions doctrine.
Again,
I don't know how. I didn't see. It didn't look like that case was finished. So when he says like an opinion, I'm not sure which opinion he's talking about. But maybe I might be fucking retarded. I don't know.
And I tend to not know the title. I know the topic and the details of it, but I tend not to focus on titles. Sorry.
I'm way over. Thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Chairman.
Damn.
Senator Kennedy, thank you.
Okay. Hilarious John Kennedy moments you must see.
You hate cops just because they're cops? The next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. As I've said about her before, I think she's the reason there are directions on a shampoo box. When you have hypothermia, you don't strip naked and run in the snow. Right. Senator Schumer never makes the same mistake twice. He makes it 5 or 6 times just to make sure he got it right. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Republicans aren't perfect, but the other side is crazy. These people are about 10 exits past normal. The party is
Yeah, so many of these. What the fuck? Does he get his staffers to write these?
controlled right now by people who majored in online activism with a minor in puberty blockers.
What?
They're screaming like Musk stole their dog or something. Just from a political standpoint, you never interfere with your enemy when he's kicking his own ass.
What the fuck? I think more people would have been behind Hakeem Jeffries if he would have phrased Democratic inaction like that instead of like, let's allow them to make their own mistakes and let's not get it. He should have just said it like that. We would have all been behind it. Do you know what I mean when I said the messaging is important? Okay.
Dog or something. Just from a political standpoint, you never interfere with your enemy when he's kicking his own ass. They're worried that she doesn't. They're worried that she was that kid in grade school who ate paste. People are worried that if she walked by a polygraph machine, the dang thing would explode. He basically used the Democrats as a chew toy. If you think this list is real, you probably think that Elvis is alive and running a small bait stand on Lake Erie. My Democratic friends, Brian, seem determined to find out what it's like to be a Jets fan. It sounds like the game room of a mental hospital. They're so upset. That's like being opposed to children or prosperity or golden retrievers. Tariffs are like whiskey. A little whiskey under the right circumstances can be refreshing. Too much whiskey under the wrong circumstances, and you end up drunk as a goat. God created the world, but everything else is made in China. For some people, the best.
Wait, what the fuck? Where do these all come? I haven't heard any of these before. What the fuck?
God created the world, but everything else is made in China. For some people, the best way to get back on your feet is to get off your ass. I tell them, look, you just got to try harder not to suck.
What the fuck? It's his shtick every time he comes on Fox? Jesus. Okay. No more Kennedy moments. Stop.
Let me try to put all this in context for you. I like omelets. I mean, I really like omelets. I could eat an omelet at every meal. I like omelets better than sex. Not really, but you get the point. I like omelets. You can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. Now, President Trump ran for office saying, I'm going to review every single penny in the federal budget.
Oh my God, he's about to spit truth. If you want to do something about the budget, you got to break some eggs, and he's not doing that.
Now, how are you going to review the spending in the federal budget without reviewing the spending? And that's what Mr. Musk is doing.
True. I don't know what the point of the omelet sex analogy was, but the other thing was true, yes.
Our tariffs on China were a little over 20, now they're 30. That's a 20-point swing. Now, I've listened all day to some of my Democratic colleagues say that, well, we didn't get anything for it. You know, if you believe that, I'm not saying you're the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope the dumbest person in the world doesn't die. It was a
What the fuck?
What? You know, if you believe that, I'm not saying you're the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope the dumbest person in the world doesn't die. It was a clear victory. The other point I would make.
Okay, no more.
If Vietnam, for example, came to you tomorrow and said, okay, Mr. Secretary, you win. We're going to remove all tariffs and all trade barriers. Would the United States please do the same? Would you accept that deal?
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. That would be the silliest thing we could do.
Why is that?
Vietnam has a $125 billion
trade deficit,
exports to us, and imports from us $12.5 million.
But I thought you said all imports and exports differences were the result of tariffs.
And you're thinking, Vietnam exports $125 billion?
I'm aware of the figures, but tell me.
But where do they get it from? They buy $90 billion from China, then they mark it up and send it to us.
So you
They're just a pathway.
Wait, why don't we just buy it straight from China then? Why would we buy from Vietnam? In what world does it even make sense? Wait, what? Unless he's saying like after the big tariffs on China or something.
China to us.
You wouldn't accept that deal.
No, it's a terrible deal. We're the one with money. We're the one with the store. Of course they want us to take down.
What's the purpose of reciprocity then? Is reciprocity not one of your goals? Are you telling the president that we shouldn't seek reciprocity? If that's what you're telling him, why are you trying to do these trade deals?
What do we want? We want...
Ooh. Reciprocity basically means that you do to me as I do to you. And now here he's saying, I want to strike an unfair trade deal with Vietnam. I want them to get fucked on it.
We want to encourage Vietnam to produce products they're great at producing.
But I want to get back to reciprocity. You just said you don't believe in it. You don't accept reciprocity as a goal. What are you negotiating in these trade deals?
Why would we open our bank account and their bank account when ours is 10 times bigger?
Why are you negotiating trade deals? You're trying to get other countries to lower their tariffs and trade barriers in return for us lowering ours.
That's true for the things that they'll take from us. That's
called reciprocity.
Of course.
So are you or are you not seeking reciprocity in these trade deals?
We are absolutely seeking reciprocity with respect to things that can be reciprocal.
But you just said,
but when they're importing from China and sending it to us, they're not.
You just said that if a country came to you and offered you the ultimate reciprocity, no tariffs, no trade barriers, in return for us doing the same, you would reject that.
Of course, because they buy from China and send it to us. Don't you agree with me?
Suppose they said we won't buy from China.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. If it was Vietnam...
Would you accept that deal?
We would consider it for what things? For
What would you want to
products?
change?
Well, there are
has no
certain
idea.
products
Certain
we
thing.
want to resure. We don't want other people making them. We want to make pharmaceuticals here.
right.
We need to protect ourselves.
Yeah, wait, where's that YouTube channel? What's the point of saying like we have all the money, but we don't want to spend any of it? What are we talking about? Also, hold on, somebody posted a stupid meme on my subreddit because there's no way this is real. Oh, god damn it. I thought it actually could have been real. Oh, fuck, never mind. It's just Always Sunny in Philadelphia joke. God damn it. I didn't read the whole thing. Elon parted ways with my administration after a very tense meeting about travel to Mars. Elon discussed how he planned to have women on board the spaceship and the need for sleeping areas because of the implication. He never explained what that meant, and to be honest, I found it to be very strange. We asked him to leave after that meeting. There are laws, Elon, even in space.
Example, came to you tomorrow. Here's in return for us lowering ours. I think
that's true.
Wait, somebody linked me a YouTube video. 3.5 minutes. Is it the same thing?
Things that they'll take from us.
That's called reciprocity.
Of course. Well, there are certain products we want to resure. We don't want other people making them. We want to make pharmaceuticals here.
Right.
We need to protect
All right,
ourselves.
let me ask you this, because I'm going to run out of time. Are trade deficits, are you advising the president that trade deficits are always bad in every situation?
Yes. You have to say yes to that. He's not going to say yes because especially since this guy seems to not be a total dipshit. But the messaging publicly has always been yes. Is he going to say something different here? Or is he's gonna like equivocate on it? It's like, well, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're not.
No.
Okay, yeah. He won't equivocate in front of, because this guy knows what he's talking about. You realize? So they've been lying to the American public the entire time. They've been talking about trade deficits and all this, right? Now, because now he says it outright. Okay, no, trade deficits aren't always bad. Thank you.
The trade deficits are always bad in every situation.
No.
Okay. When are trade deficits good?
Trade deficits, for instance.
I'm about to get super mad. If he actually knows the answer, because I've been told that Lutnick is a fucking retard. Am I about to learn that he's actually just evil? Destiny, I have podcast recommendation. The YouTube channel is Polycon. It's hosted by James Carville. Superman? Cheeto? He was campaign manager for Bill Clinton and Obama. How did he have time to do that and act at the same time? He is mainstream Democrat with real experience. Okay.
Let's say.
Okay. When are trade deficits good?
Trade deficits, for instance, let's say there was a company that had the cure for cancer. Let's call it Cancer Cure. And we were buying it and it was located in another country. We would obviously have a trade deficit with them because they have the only one of it. An example,
Wait, what? Hold on.
Had the cure for cancer.
When are trade deficits good?
Trade deficits, for instance, let's say there was a company that had the cure for cancer. Let's call it Cancer Cure. And we were buying it and it was located in another country. We would obviously have a trade deficit with them because they have the only one of it.
I don't even know if it would work that way. Correct answer, actually. Is it? If you have a, oh, fuck me, dude. I'm dying. FDI, for foreign direct investment, it generally has to be done in that country's currency, right? You need, but I mean, you can do currency exchange or whatever. Does that account? Does that lead into a trade deficit? I thought it wouldn't. Am I wrong on that? Am I just crazy? If somebody comes and they spend money in the United States to invest in a company here, this would only make sense if you were buying the product from the company, right? If you do an investment, that's money that you're sending to that company, no? I guess if you import a ton from them, then maybe, but.
An example, our technology companies, our great technology companies, we're the only ones
So a
with
trade
it.
deficit is okay if they're products we really need.
If they're the only ones with it and we can't do it, then of course it's fine.
Oh, then the follow-up question would be, oh, what products do you think that we can't do? Are there any?
But if we can do it, then we darn well better think about whether we're supposed to do it.
What the fuck? Wait. Is he calling for Io? Oh, I'm sorry, Io. For Ohio to secede? No, it's just a cringe old Republican slogan. Isn't he running for office there? I don't even know what federalism means in this context. He's saying state rights in different words. Then why not just say states' rights? Okay, I don't know. All right, whatever. Is Ohio the meme? It is the meme, right? Holy shit. Oh, guys, if we ever rewrite history, if we can have one lie, it has to be this one. Why did we call him Sleepy Joe Biden? We called him Sleepy Joe because we slept well at night when he was president. True. Why'd this motherfucker buy a goat?
So one person needs to sit and watch.
Which is you, because you're the stepfather.
This is like some satanic shit, bro.
And buy the stuff.
Or do you want me to go and buy the stuff?
Who wants to go in and buy it?
You're the stepdaddy, Darius.
So what does that mean? I can stay here?
I can stay, or do you want me? Or do you want to stay? You just tell me.
I mean, either of us are going. We should both go.
Do you want to both go inside?
Are you gonna be okay?
Yep.
He wanted to mow his lawn. I'm not joking.
Pellets, hay.
I feel like the expectation is a perfectly cut lawn because the goat is going around, and the reality is just going to be your whole lawn is overgrown except for one like area that's fucked up where it's like ripped all the grass out of the ground.
Pellets, hay.
Yes.
Or it takes like 7 bites and dies because normal lawn grass isn't the type of grass that goats usually eat. I don't know.
Her name is Shufi. Destiny is laughing at you right now.
I'm not. I love you. I'm not.
Destiny fucks with the goat, bro.
God damn it.
Name it irrelevant because it's a goat. Hey, Destiny. This will heal me, bro. Just don't worry about it, man. Turn off the stream, man.
Good luck. We believe in you, buddy. Fuck. This was a topic from 12 hours ago on the stream. how close South Korea came to losing the war.
구국 대책을 강구하지 않는다면 우리는 전 조선 인민들과 후손들에게 대하여 전투에 있을 수 없는 죄를 짓는다는 것을 각오하여야.
Ugh, I'm getting triggered.
피자의 식민지로
This is like
만들려는 기도를 분쇄.
when you think Roach Hydra can beat Marine Medevac Marauder. And it's like, oh, guys, just a little bit more. Keep shooting. Where are my true gods in chat that understand?
때 구국 대책을 강구하지 않는다면 우리는 전 조선 인민들과 후손들에게 대하여 전투에 있을 수 없는 죄를 짓는다는 것을 각오하여야 하겠습니다.
Communist forces attacked the Republic of Korea. This attack has made it clear beyond all doubt that the international communist movement is willing to use armed invasion to conquer independent nations. The invasion of the Republic of Korea was a direct challenge to the principles of the United Nations. That challenge was met by an overwhelming response.
우리 인민이 성취한 위대한 역사적 승리입니다.
Think of those who were called upon to lay down their lives in that far-off land to prove once again that only courage and sacrifice can keep freedom alive upon the earth.
Cool. There's an audio recording of Guy Edward Bartkus's manifesto. Bartkus was the Palm Springs fertility clinic bomber. 30 minutes, brah.
Okay, so I figured I would just make a recording explaining why I've decided to bomb an IVF building or clinic.
Bro, it's a literal recording and you misspoke in the first 9 seconds. You can't start the recording over again?
Basically, it just comes down to I'm angry that I exist, and that, nobody got my consent to bring me here.
What? This guy sounds like he's doing The Last of Us Part 1 fucking Let's Play. What is this YouTuber boy? Kill me, bro. My God.
Nobody got my consent to bring me here. And I know what you're going to say. How could we have got your consent? Because you didn't exist, blah, blah, blah. Exactly the point. There's no way you can get consent to bring someone here, so don't fucking do it, right? And if you're going to try to say something really fucking retarded, like, well, since you don't exist, you don't have a consent status, and therefore we don't have to get consent, this really isn't any different from saying, oh, well, the girl's unconscious, so I can't get I can't get her consent to have sex with her, so therefore it's okay, because I can't. There's no way to even ask for the consent, right? So, I mean, if you actually think that's a good argument against what I've said, right, you're absolutely retarded. Your brain, it's very childish and retarded, right? And before you say, ooh, that's ad hominem, I said the word retard. No, I made an argument, and then I called you a retard, fucker.
Oh my God! Okay, we got coherent anti-natalist philosophy. We've got a nuanced view of, what the agency a person has to consent to some particular thing, and then being an unconscious thing that consents to some kind of suffering, okay, which is the underpinning of the anti-natalist philosophy is the idea that you can't bring a child into the world because you'll be subjecting it to some level of suffering, and the child wasn't able to consent before you brought it into the world, so it's a non-consensual introduction of somebody into suffering. And then he correctly identifies, it's hard for people to do this, he correctly identifies that calling somebody a retard is not an ad hom. I might just be calling you retarded to insult you. I'm not calling you retarded to dismiss your arguments. I'm dismissing your arguments, and then I'm calling you retarded. That's not an ad hom. It's just an insult. It's true.
It's not ad hominem. Ad hominem is when someone just name calls and that's it. That's what ad hominem is, fuckhead. You people, some of you motherfuckers are just too fucking stupid. Okay, anyways. So, yes, the point is, obviously you get people's consent to bring them here, so don't do it. It's that fucking simple, right? This is not complicated logic. This is not complicated ethics, okay? So, anyways, all right. So, I have written some things down here.
Did anybody die in this? Jesus. He did. Oh, oh, rip. Well, I mean, I guess it's kind of, not that I don't support any violence or anything, FBI guy that's watching me. I promise. Don't anybody do this. I don't encourage anybody to do this. And if you do, I'll make fun of you. Okay. But I mean, if you were going to do something like this, he didn't kill any other people. He lived his morals. He left an audible manifesto with clearly recorded audio and philosophically coherent arguments.
I tried to kind of order them in a way that made...
Why is this 30 minutes? Dog, if you were recording your last thing on Earth, okay? Still can't have a 30-minute recording.
Makes sense just because I have a lot of things to say, and yeah, so hopefully there's some order to my little recording here. But anyways, so yeah, so the reason I'm wanting to get the fuck out of this whole life game is basically, I guess it comes down to I'm not interested in being a life addict, right? So I really never wanted to do this life drug. And I remember like when I was a kid, people just trying to, I mean, my whole life really, people have always been trying to push this life drug onto me. People try to push experiences onto me, like, hey, let's go to a concert or some bullshit. It's always something, And I'm always saying, no, not interested. And
True, I just want to play my fucking computer, bro.
People are, for some reason, like people just can't fucking take no for an answer, when it comes to this shit. It really isn't any different from like, kids pushing drugs or smoking on some other kid or whatever. It's not really any different from this, except in this case, it's more like fucking heroin. It's a much worse drug. And also, yes, life is a drug. It really is very analogous to a drug. I know some of you assholes are going to get all triggered at me saying that, being negative, about life.
Is life like a drug? What's the comparison that he's going to make? Drugs are typically abused because they make you feel really good, but they always, definitionally, usually have a really bad spin out at the end. If you get addicted to heroin, obviously being high makes you feel good, but then there are huge consequences in the end. Is that it? Life ends in suffering and pain or whatever? So maybe? Where does he go with this?
But I mean, think about this. If you sit around and do absolutely nothing, like literally nothing, right, you're going to become very miserable pretty quickly, right? And the reason for this is that the default state for you is deprivation, right? And this is how life gets you to chase things, right? And yeah, that includes literally even drinking water, what we would call basic needs, right? Your brain gets you to chase things. That's really what's going on, right? And the shit that we're chasing really is stupid, right? This whole evolution thing, life thing, is not an intelligent design, when you see innocent creatures getting completely fucked by life, I'm not just talking humans, but even animals, right? How the hell can you sit there and call that an intelligent design? It clearly isn't. It's a completely absurd thing to call life an intelligent design. It's clearly not, right? It clearly is just something that happened because it could, right? The circumstances were just right to where it could happen, and it did happen. Evolution isn't really doing anything on purpose, right? It's just evolving. It's just happening. That's it, right? So it's not intelligent, and that's why I use the word stupid a lot. In reference to the shit people are chasing, the shit people are doing, and what life is doing, it's stupid. I'm not saying that just because I'm upset about it. I'm saying that because I've thought about it, and I think the word stupid really does apply, okay? I tend not to use language too loosely, so... Okay, so, yeah, all this just to say, yeah, life itself really is just, it's a big drug addiction, right? It's just chasing absolute nonsense, and I've pretty much seen this since I was a kid. I've pretty much known it since I was a kid. As a kid, I wasn't able to put words to it, but some part of my brain kind of understood it, right? Because I really wasn't very interested in anything. I really didn't want much, and as I've gotten older and older, more aware, I started to realize, like, oh, this is a really nasty game. This life on Earth game is really nasty. It's causing tons and tons of harm. It is a zero-sum game.
Because we all die in the end.
Zero-sum game? Did I say that right? Hopefully I said that right. Basically what I'm trying to say is, since the default state is deprivation, basically you're being whipped constantly, okay? And the best you can achieve is not being whipped, right? Satisfying your needs and your desires, right? And, which, again, really is just the whip being taken away, right? So, as in Mendham, Gary would say, there is no carrot, there's only the whip, okay? It doesn't intuitively make sense when you think about it. Like, when I first heard him say shit like that, I totally didn't believe it. I was like, no. Like, there's certain things that are just, like, pleasurable on their own. And, but as I thought about, over the week after, like, the week after I heard him say that, I just started thinking about things, and I started to realize, like, no, it's, there really is no, like, fundamental, like, good, it really is all made of fixing.
Guys, don't kill yourself when you get to this point. You're supposed to keep going, okay, and discover some creating meaning in life or whatever, or creating meaning and purpose in your life after. Don't stop here, okay? This is supposed to be transitory. I'm not a listening specialist, okay? If I wanted to hear this shit, I'd go to the Ask Yourself Discord, all right? Just kidding. What? Okay.
Oh man, I went to this bar in Nashville. This band was playing Kelly's Heroes, a great guitarist, best
9 days ago. How old is this?
guitarist I've ever seen. And they were playing old country music with a heavy blues rock twist. So they do this great version of Ghost Riders in the Sky. And this brilliant guitarist just goes way out on a limb. And everybody in the crowd, it was so fun to be there. They're just
I feel like we've watched this before. Is this like years old?
thrilled to death. Because they're watching this man doing the same thing that surfers do. He's like dancing on the edge of chaos and order in this virtuosic manner. And everyone is so taken by that it just lifts them out of the normality of their existence. You know, you see this joy just transfuse them. And that's because they got an intimation of genuine meaning.
Why? The original clip is actually so fucking hilarious how deranged he is. Why would you ruin it with this stupid meme at the end that doesn't even fucking make sense? Okay. If you want to understand what he's talking about,
That's because they got an intimation of genuine meaning.
it just sounds like this is a guy who did LSD for the first time and like listened to music while high, or mushrooms, I guess.
And everyone is so taken by that.
Like this is exactly the conversation you would have with. You'd be like looking for like crying with like some random fucking song playing. Like it's so beautiful. Okay, Jesus. Is there a coherent argument against non-existence? Yeah, you can always make yourself non-existent if you want. It's probably a thing that teases at the boundaries of like what is knowable or understandable, though. It's hard to contemplate things that are not. We don't really have a foundation. I think usually every contemplation, I think usually starts with some kind of subjective thing or some kind of thing to interpret it. Like, I think it's like I think it's a question that feels deep, but it's not. It's just, you can't. It's just a nonsense, like syntactically invalid argument. Like imagine a thing that doesn't exist but has properties, right? Can you imagine a person who's taller than you, but they don't exist? It's not a thing. Or can you imagine like a pink rock that like isn't? It's like no. I mean, it has to be something, right? There has to be a thing for it to have property. It's just like what does it mean to force a human to come alive who's subject to suffer? I mean, like, well, you can't, there's not even a thing to consider prior to in existence. I don't know. Cringe. Cringe, fake, lame. No one cares. Do you care what happens after you die? Why? I care a lot. I don't want anybody to bang your mom with a dick bigger than mine. You cannot imagine pink rocks or people taller than you? It would have to exist. I guess, well, now it's, what do I mean when I say exist? I can't imagine a thing that doesn't, well, like, because you're saying like, well, if you imagine a thing, that thing doesn't exist. Well, it exists as an idea that I'm imagining. A thing that doesn't exist can't also have properties, right? It would have to exist first, right? You can't speak of a thing that is not anything. Even if it's a thing that doesn't have a material form, it still exists as an idea in your mind, right? Bro, my voice. Oh no. See here, this could have benefited from Attack on Titan music, okay? Also, look, we need more of these Democrats. Whoever runs this account, this is the only good hire that the Dems had in 2024, okay? It's whoever's running this Twitter account now. Jesus.
Meeting in the Oval Office. We lost Mr. Miller to a meeting in the Oval Office. Perfectly understandable. When I was in government, it would happen all the time. You'd have to kill a TV show, and you're at the president's beck and call. However...
Hold on. A little bit, right? Like Mitch McConnell.
We have the kindly Senator John Husted from the great state of Ohio, who at late notice is helping us out. And Senator Husted, I am most grateful for you to help us out on short notice. Want to thank you for it. We lost Mr. Miller to a meeting in the Oval Office.
How should we begin? What do you mean begin? You think energy has unilateral derivation? Well, only if you broaden the metadata to include union ubiquity. What now? Well, that depends on what you mean by now. Well, what do you mean depends? Well, who is you in this instance? You think you're limited to this instance? Of course not. Time is a bastardization of cosmic arithmetic. This hurts my brain. Me too. It seems we can't agree on terms. Well, I don't agree with that statement. I don't agree it's a statement. This must be how Romulus and Remus felt when they orchestrated the building of Rome. Well, clearly I'm Romulus. No, you're Remus. I'm Cain, you're Abel, you're Brutus to my Antony. Are we stuck? We might be stuck. Uh-oh. Can anyone help dislodge the core synaptic latitude on display? Oh, I know. Say your favorite pompous phrase to control a conversation. Ready? Egalitarian malfeasance. Damn. Again. Metaphysical verisimilitude. Nope. Again. Quantitative capriciousness. Didactic frivolity. Ooh, good one. Is this proof that conversations with me are obnoxious and futile? Well, we have built a career around it, so I think it's easier if we just assume we're some sort of god. Deal.
You know, this started off as a 4 out of 10, and it kind of went to a 2 out of 10. And you know what? I feel like we ended it like a solid 7.5 out of 10. I thought that was a good ass meme. Fuck, I have like 8 videos on backlog that we haven't watched. Tectone watched this and said he was crashing out. The fuck is this? Monk debate on Trump's America.
Our lead?
Oh, it's with Ezra Klein. Supposedly he big dogged the fuck out of this debate. Fuck. He's copying me so much, and he does debates now. Seriously? You're gonna like open the next Ezra Klein YouTube video, and it's gonna be a fucking camera of him with like Sennheiser 599s, and he's gonna be playing like Mindustry. He's like, hello guys. It helps me keep my train of thought to optimize my shapes. My God. All right.
The practicing doctor and someone who deeply...
Oh, apparently Tectone watched this and said Dr. Mike crashed out.
As a practicing doctor and someone who deeply cares about public health, I've been quite vocal about my criticism
Wait.
towards RFK.
Sorry, one more thing. This is a good tweet. Peter Thiel looking at all of his hard work being wasted. This is a good one. That's a good tweet. I won the election by buying Twitter while you hid in Mar-a-Lago. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus. All right.